You're listening to the Lanterns Radio Network. We are the network dedicated to empowering the individual, illuminating the truth, defending American exceptionalism, and inspiring future generations. Stay connected and get involved at Lanterns.buzz for great radio. Get commentary and news of the day. Lanterns.buzz.
Common sense, comedy, and freedom. You found the defenders of American exceptionalism on the Lanterns Radio Network.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Defenders of American Exceptionalism on the Lanterns Radio Network.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. We are a week out from Christmas, man.
Christmas holiday.
I don't know if I'm part of me's ready for it to be done and over with.
And part of you is really wanting to have it happen and that whole deal, or what?
And I do this every year. You remember how Christmas felt when you were a kid?
Yeah.
Just that feeling of excitement.
That, like, whole exciting.
Yeah, I still like the holiday, don't get me wrong, but I feel like I don't start actually getting that feeling until, like, the 23rd. And then it's like, oh, I'm starting to feel, oh, crap, it's over. Oh.
I'm starting to, it's there, gone.
Look, another year, we get to wait for it to come back again.
Yay, now it's New Year's.
Yeah, now we clean up the wrapping paper, and and then you just,
you open the kids open the presents, everybody's all excited for like 10 minutes, and then you clean up, and you're like, oh, well, I guess that was okay.
Yeah.
That was good.
And now we get to go to someone else's house and maybe open another present or two, and that's about it.
That is the thing I hate the most.
You and me both, man.
Oh, man. It's the only downside to having family really close to you. Is that you get to go to, like, multiple houses every year on the same day for every holiday, and you're like, oh!
No, I don't. I couldn't.
Oh, it's so bad.
I can't do it. I don't want to do it.
I'm not doing it this year. But, see, my sister just had a baby, so they're kind of doing their thing, and we're going to be like, oh, well, we'll see each other sometime.
We'll stop in and drop you off a gift, and that'll be about it.
And so, the baby's resting up, and like, well, we're not going to, like, have everybody at the house. And I'm like, okay, great. That's awesome. It makes it really
You're like, oh, darn.
Darn it.
We don't get to, oh.
Dang, darn.
Dang it, darn.
Darn, dang it.
Dang it, darn, dang it.
Darn, dang it, darn.
Dang, darn. Darn. Anyway. No, I'm just, like I said, it's one of those, I'm not quite ready. Were you done shopping? Have you got all your... That was a stupid question.
That's really... No.
He was... Nowhere close. Guess who's going to be out on Christmas Eve?
I mean, no. I don't... No. I'll be done by this weekend.
Yeah,
by the end of the weekend, I'll be done.
Yeah, I've only really got to get the wife stuff.
Yeah, see, we only focus on the kids. That's all we focus on.
Well,
like, if we can get something for each other, we do at the very end, and it's like, yeah.
Well, yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. The kids are all taken care of.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so you only have the wife left?
Yeah, I got to get her something now. I need to do something, and I'm trying to. I know what I want to do.
Yeah.
I just don't know if I'm going to be able to pull it off. And I'm not going to say it out loud because my wife has a wonderful habit of listening to our show, and so I'm not about to let the cat out of the bag. So.
It's not actually a cat this time, is it?
Well, not this time. Not that.
No.
Leave it. Nope.
All right.
You're not sucking me into that one. Not going to sucker me into that one. But yes, so folks, it is a great show planned for y'all this evening.
Yes.
And I say great show, I mean it's going to be rather depressing.
Yeah, we're going to kill each other.
It's going to
Please, by the way, this is a trigger warning. Trigger warning. You may get depressed by the end of the show.
Yeah.
We're going to have something funny at the end, I promise.
Yeah, it'll lighten up at the end, but the first couple parts are kind of depressing. I'm going to let you know now. Don't worry, you want happy and cheer. Definitely tune in next week.
Well, yes.
For the Christmas special.
Yes.
The Defenders of American Exceptionalism's Christmas Spectacular.
Also, the 50th
Our 50th show.
Yeah.
What?
Whoop, whoop.
Yeah.
Oh, man, it's going to be awesome.
We're getting old.
Oh, yeah. Oh, hey, by the way, next year, I know we've been talking about it, but we are going to split into 2 shows starting pretty close to the beginning of the year. I think the second week in January, is that right?
Yes.
Second week in January, I believe. We're going to have a Wednesday night and a Saturday night show.
Yeah, we'll be coming officially, it'll be the 10th.
There you go.
The 10th at 9 p.m. we will start our Wednesdays live. So we'll be doing Wednesdays and Saturdays. Don't miss it.
That's right. And always remember, you can find us on Twitter at DOA Show. You can use the hashtag KnowIKnow. Defenders of American Exceptionalism on Facebook. You have DOA Show on Patreon if you want to become a patron of ours. By the way, you get some nice swag doing that.
You do indeed.
Oh, yeah. YouTube, Facebook, we got iHeartRadio, we've got pretty much everywhere where you can ever listen to a podcast, we are there.
Lanterns.buzz, don't forget, check that there.
Oh, yeah, great content there.
Yes. Our parent company, you can check out them. Other like amazing writers, a lot of people that don't get near the credit that they should.
Yes.
A lot of other awesome hosts. Check them out. I'm sure they will appreciate your patronage.
Tons and tons of content.
Yeah,
for you to browse and peruse. We are a volunteer army.
Yeah, we all do this.
Which means we need you to come and see us.
Yeah, we're not doing. Nobody is getting paid to do this
yet.
And so, yeah, you kind of need to. We don't want to seem like we're wasting our time. So just
or yours.
Yeah. So exactly. So check everything out. See what you.
Speaking of, let's get down to business.
Oh, I don't want to.
I am.
It's so bad.
I am getting down to business. So, there was this whole thing a couple years ago where the entire phrase "never again is now" came about. It was a big campaign. It was talking about all the bad stuff that happened from the wars, the civil wars, everything that's happened in the past that we know were atrocities. We want to make sure that those things never happen again.
Exactly.
Guess what?
They're back.
It's happening again. So we need to bring your attention to it so that you can pay attention, make sure that people understand and what's going on. By what I mean by this is, well, let me get the name right. It's the Dutch National. What is it?
Sorry, I'm not even paying attention. I was looking up something else.
Yeah, you're doing something completely different.
No, I was prepping to continue with this. I had dropped the ball earlier.
Oh goodness.
It's
Dutch National something or other.
The Dutch National Institute of Public Health.
There you go.
You're
their
welcome.
public health. So what that actually is relating to is their universal health care. They put out a video.
Yeah, you could call it almost like a PSA.
Yeah, kind of like a public service announcement where they took. So
and this is just my personal opinion. If this is a PSA, they're pretty douchey about their PSAs,
That's
right?
Pretty bad. It's like, pretty bad PSA.
Merry Christmas. I'm a douche.
Or how the old PSAs were with be cool, go to school. And,
oh God,
all that junk. It's worse.
Just say no to drugs.
It's so much worse than
it is.
It's so much worse than their PSA.
This is
it's so bad. So they put out a PSA.
It'll make you pine for the DARE PSAs.
Man, I pine for the days. Oh, pine for the days. All right, so their PSA is specifically about the cost of care. And the cost of care for a specific type of person.
Well, now, why would you need to know the cost of care for an individual?
Well, it's funny that you say that. In universal healthcare systems, they basically have a pool of money that the government spends every year on everybody, and so they have to ration out care.
Oh, so you mean somebody else decides whether you get treatment or not?
Yes.
Oh.
So they ration out care, and since everybody has to put in for it because it's coming out of your taxes and the government is funding it, this PSA goes to their notifications for this. And
no good.
So let's set the scene. All
yes,
right.
Let's.
So this guy from the National Institute of Health, Dutch National Institute of Health, brings along Stjord.
How do you spell that?
Stjoerd. And Stjord has Down syndrome.
Okay.
Okay? And so they bring along Stewart, and they bring him to
It's no laughing matter. Stop it.
Stop laughing.
I
Why
can't
are you
help-
laughing?
It's just
This is not good.
no, it's not. It really is not.
He's
It's
laughing.
a travesty.
He's laughing to keep himself straight.
What's the name?
Stewart.
I don't know why it makes me giggle, but it does. Sorry.
Anyway,
Like a 5-year-old over here.
so they bring him to this guy.
And
This guy, he's like a statistician. And so they did this approximation of cost. And funny enough, the approximation of cost is how much does it cost to take care of what they call a downer.
a downer.
A downer.
Now, which is weird because I grew up thinking a downer was a drug.
Right.
You know,
Apparently, no.
there's
It's somebody
uppers
with
and downers, and that's
No, it's somebody with Down syndrome.
Yeah, which now bear in mind again. Let's set the stage again, just in case you missed that. So they brought a guy with Down syndrome
To go over the statistics.
to go sit in front of this guy to have him basically tell him
how much he costs
how
the
much
government.
it costs the government to have him alive, what his
Right.
value is.
Yeah, his value of life. And by that, I mean how much it costs the government to pay for his care every year. So let's just kind of, it's all in Dutch. I don't, so it's part of the Netherlands and everything else. Here's just a little bit of what they talked about. So if we go through how they went, so they were talking about the each person with Down syndrome costs roughly 48,000 euro per year per downer.
That's like 60 grand
Something like
in
that.
dollars.
In
yeah.
dollars,
give or
yeah.
take. That's like $60,000 a year.
$60,000 a year for us Americans over here.
Yep.
So we'll say dollars, $60,000. So every downer costs $60,000, and by that I mean people with Down syndrome cost the government $60,000 a year to keep them alive. I don't know why.
I don't
it
either.
costs them $60,000 a year, but apparently it costs $60,000 a year.
Well, we do know why, and we'll go into that in a moment.
Yeah. You can take hold of that
No,
one. Anyway,
I'm trying to keep the blood from flowing out of my eyes right now.
I'm about to crush my phone. So here's a little bit of the transcript. So they're talking about that, and they say $40,000 a year per person. Per downer? Yes, per person. The person with Down syndrome goes, wow.
Yeah, that was. This was the bad part. At least to
They
me.
have him on scene doing the reactions while he's there. And so that's a considerable, this is what they say, that's a considerable amount.
Yeah.
But is it high compared to normal persons?
Again, now bear in mind, again, this guy with Down syndrome is sitting there
Listening to the
the
conversation.
entire conversation. The reference of y'all are, being called downer, having other
Wow.
references to normal people,
Yeah, normal.
and he's just sitting there.
He's just sitting there.
And
he's fine. He's cheerful.
He is
Not a big deal.
When the guy expresses to him, "Hey, it costs 48,000 euros or approximately $60,000 to basically for the government to fund you."
Yeah.
Your cost.
Yeah.
The guy gets excited. He goes, "Wow, I'm a very valuable person."
And we're about to get to there. So,
Yeah.
well, you can calculate that by taking the big number of 90 billion euro and dividing that among the citizens of the Netherlands. And there are approximately 17 million people,
Give or take.
give or take. And that will give you approximately now about 5,000 euros per person. So you could say that the Down syndrome person is 10 times as expensive as than we are. Those expenses are indeed 10 times as high. You're a valuable man. That was a quote. By the way. This is context from the video. It's actually in English down at the bottom. It's the subtext. And he said, "Yes." What? You're a valuable person. Yes.
Yeah, but not like you think.
Yeah, but not like you.
He's looking at the glass half full, And these people are talking about him as being glass half empty.
Right. So literally what this is talking about. So you have this here, and then you add that into the idea where you have Reykjavik, thank you.
In Iceland, where they have almost...
No.
Well,
not almost.
Well, according
they
to...
claim.
I was going to say, according to news things, they've almost completely eradicated Down syndrome in the country
from
of
their
Iceland.
society.
And how is that? Because they've done they do testing on every single pregnant woman that comes through the door.
Yep.
And then if it's even a hint of a possibility of Down syndrome,
they abort.
They abort the baby immediately.
Yep. They do not allow the pregnancy to continue. That's the government telling a woman what she can do with her child. That's universal health care. So, what this is actually going into, guys, is eugenics.
Mm-hmm. This is 1935 over again.
1930s, 1940s, Margaret Sanger, eugenics, Nazism.
This is Hitler, Third Reich.
This is everything. This is how they started it the last time.
Yeah, this is...
They came up and said, they gave an emotional plea that said, look, we can't... These people are better off not living.
This is the beginning of Mangala. That's what this is.
We can't pay for these people. They're better off not living. And so you have all of these things are starting to come to pass again. And it's going to hit America. But before it hits America, we need to stop it. This is something that needs to be brought up at the UN. This is one place where the UN should step in.
You would think.
And say, hey, guys... That's a civil rights issue.
Mm-hmm. That's a human right.
That's a human rights issue. You can't eliminate a person because of a disability. You either accept the person because of their disabilities, or in this case, in universal health care, you just kill them.
Yeah, which is easier. And apparently for them, it's killing them. And again, what contrasts this with the video that came out about a couple weeks ago, of the gentleman with Down syndrome who was the entrepreneur who worth millions.
In Congress,
pleading with Congress.
He's like, I'm a public speaker. I have acting jobs.
Yeah.
I've done this. I've done
all of this stuff. And this guy that's sitting here is being told, oh, well, you're completely useless. You just cost us $60,000 a year to run. And he's
basically,
it's amazing. We're not trying to help teach people to not see themselves as having a handicap. You don't have a handicap. You're just different. You just have to do things a different way. They have the same problem with kids with Asperger's and they're on the spectrum for autism
or ADHD
or any of that stuff. We don't teach the kids, hey,
you have to learn how to progress through this.
Everyone has to go through it. You just have to do it a different way than other people.
Right.
We don't teach them that. We just give them medication. We just push everything off to the background and just kind of let it run.
Exactly.
And then we wonder why society is in the crap hole that it's in.
It's in a major crap hole. And so, look, this is going to continue, guys. We have to nip this in the bud immediately. If we don't stand up, if we don't come and say to these people, this is wrong.
Yeah.
What you are doing is wrong, Switzerland, Netherlands, Dutch people. It's wrong.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, everybody that says, hey, look at Switzerland with all their health care and their college and everything
Look at it.
Look at it. Look at what's coming up out of it.
Because it's always funny and, okay until it happens to you. And suddenly people had a voice then.
Well, now it's happening to this guy.
Now it's happening to this guy. Oh, well. Yay! Now that we've brightened your day. On the other side, we're going to brighten your day even more. Mm-hmm. Thanks for listening to us, folks. We're the Defenders of American Exceptionalism on the Lanterns Radio Network. We're going to be right back. Stay tuned. And welcome back, folks. You're listening to Defenders of American Exceptionalism on the Lanterns Radio Network.
Whew.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay,
I
think I'm composed.
I think I may have. That junk just, I'm sorry, but people or life is precious, and if we don't get back to that, and that goes down to even a level of just treating people like people that are normal. You know what I mean?
Okay.
That means stop being a douche to somebody just because you don't agree with them politically. I'm gonna stop because if we're gonna go right back down that trail again, and it's gonna be it's gonna be a bad night.
Have you ever? You guys haven't seen me get angry yet, and this is one of those ways that I can just.
The best part about it is for all the jokes of Alex Jones that I tend to get.
I know.
Y'all haven't seen me angry either.
That's true. We haven't really seen you. Like, you've held it in pretty well.
I do try to maintain because I know what's going to happen.
You've composed.
I do.
You stay as composed as possible, and I mean, woo.
And you know what? If I have to be compared to Alex Jones in order to maintain that level of
that's fine.
Calm,
that's fine.
I've been called worse. So, folks, you can catch us on Defenders of American Exceptionalism on Facebook.
DOA Show on Twitter.
And in Defenders of America, or DOA Show on Patreon. You'll catch us at Lanterns.buzz on Facebook and YouTube.
Yep. And always use the hashtag #NowIKnow.
Yes, that's how you can talk to us directly. Now,
so, net neutrality has been repealed.
Praise the Lord, hallelujah.
Yes.
Now, and the funny part about this is...
Oh, by the way, the world is going to end.
It is. How y'all are listening to us right now, we'll never know.
If you are hearing us right now, you must be only on dial-up.
Or maybe not.
Or maybe not.
It might be back to like 1995 where you didn't have...
Oh. So I want to add this in. AOL Instant Messenger...
I know.
...is now gone.
It's now gone.
It's gone.
Is it bad that there's a part of me that kind of sad?
It's like nostalgia is dead.
It is, because
You know,
they were playing the sounder for it all day long,
We used to use the CDs that you got for free, like...
And you run it out?
When Kmart was still a thing.
Yeah.
And they had the blue light
special.
And then they had the AOL discs that you could take home. We used to take those and use them as shooting practice. For like little pellet guns and stuff. We'd be... Bing, bing, bing,
And
bing.
you got good with it. I mean...
All right. It was good.
That's what you do. I kind of, like I said, there's a form of nostalgia. I'm kind of missing a little bit.
Yes.
At the same time, I don't miss dial-up.
You don't know that...
Boom, boom. Yeah, no, I don't miss any of that.
You know, the sound that a fax machine makes still to
Oh,
this
yeah,
day.
and then you just get logged in, and then somebody would call the phone.
And you'd be like, no!
And it would bump you off.
I hate you.
Or if you had it reversed the other way, where once you got online, it completely killed the phone line, and your mother would be trying to call you, and she'd get mad.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
See,
I don't miss those days at all.
We were rich. We had 2 phone lines.
Ooh.
Not really.
No, that's...
My dad just had to work out of the house, so we had to have 2 phone lines.
Oh, it was just by coincidence.
Yeah,
See, you got lucky.
Yeah.
No. But yeah. So net neutrality has officially been repealed.
Yay!
And people are losing their effing minds.
Yes, the world has ended.
And I don't understand
this.
Dead. I don't.
Well, okay, so...
I don't. Well, I understand. Well, let me phrase this. I don't understand net neutrality in the details of it. I get the basics. I don't get why people are losing their mind.
Okay.
And here's why. Anything that the government decides to come in and control
parts of
a private company, basically telling a private company what it can and cannot do, is wrong.
Yes.
Sorry, I don't care who you are. I don't care what business you are.
Now,
don't care. If a government comes in and says, you have to do this a certain way. Now, I'm not saying that you have to regulate as in a way of, well, no, you can't be ripping people off. Duh.
They already have laws for that.
Yes, they have laws for that. But if the government comes in and says, you have to do this, you have to share, you have to be equal and neutral.
Right.
Then, I'm sorry, but there's something is afoot at the Kmart. You know what I mean?
There's a foul plot afoot.
Yeah. If something isn't right. And then what makes it worse is and I don't understand why people are, again, I don't know the ins and outs. I don't know the exact details, but I know well enough that and you could look this up. Google is the one that wrote
yes,
net neutrality.
That is correct.
if a giant corporation is going to
Write
the federal
a bill?
government, writing a bill and going to the federal government, and then trying to sell it in such a way that, and they're using the excuses of it's fair.
Yes.
Google has all the money in the world. They don't need it to be fair.
They also have government contracts already.
I rest my case. I mean, what does in the greatest form of all of it, what did Google need this for?
They didn't really need it at
They
all.
didn't need it other than to slam the door behind them.
Exactly. So, all right. Here is the deal. Okay? Legally, what net neutrality would do for all technicality, it would treat ISPs, Internet Service Providers, that's what that is. ISP is just somebody who provides Internet to somebody.
Verizon and
Comcast,
AT&T,
anybody.
Spectrum, whatever.
Spectrum, any of them. Any of those people that provide Internet access, it treats them like a telephone company from the 1930s. And what I mean by that is it literally sets up in the future for the Internet to be a utility, which is bad. Because it creates the word of the day.
Mm-hmm. See, this is a new thing that Stevens does, is he's found this word of the day, and frankly, it makes me want to slap him.
Oligopoly.
Because it...
Oligopoly. I know it sounds like I made that up. It's real. Now, an oligopoly is when a very, very small number of companies compete with each other over the same setup. So
imagine the railroads.
Imagine the railroads, or imagine telephone companies back in the 1930s where you had AT&T and Bell South, and that was it.
That was it.
What this does is this
sidebar real fast, or the car companies.
Or car companies where they
notice there's only
GM,
Chevy, Dodge, GM.
Ford.
Yeah, Ford. That was Ford, Dodge, and GM. Or Ford, Dodge, and Chevy are basically the basic three.
Right.
There's a reason why there's a basic three in things like the Studebaker and...
right. All of those really awesome cars back in the day that everybody loved that were designer
There's a reason why they're gone.
There's a reason why they're gone. It's because these big companies went to the government and said, we need to save the industry and help the people. And
I'm air quoting. In case you're not watching live, we're air quoting.
There's a lot of air quotes right now. We need to save the people. In other words, we need to save our business from ever being hurt by these people that are startups and are better than us.
Yes.
Okay. So, Google is a content provider that is also becoming an ISP.
Yep.
Right?
Isn't that a coinky-dink?
Would you have Google Fiber? You have everywhere that has every metropolitan area is going to be Google Fiber soon. Okay? So it's a content provider, a major content
Sounds like a breakfast
provider.
cereal.
I know.
Especially when their parent company's Alphabet.
Oh.
Alphabet Fiber.
Yeah. That's good times.
Thank you.
All right. So.
You realize, just sidebar real fast, you realize we're going to get...
That was the first bell of the day.
We're going to get dinged.
I know.
Okay. Just so you know.
I know. That's why we did it.
We're bracing ourselves.
Yeah,
all right, go for it.
I know. All right. So. Here is a real-life example of how life happened before net neutrality.
Mm-hmm.
Netflix and Comcast. Mm-hmm. Okay, Comcast went to Netflix and they said specifically, Netflix, you're taking up 70% of our bandwidth. We can't afford to keep you. You're going to have to pay more so that we can keep up our services and provide services for everybody else. What did they do? They paid more.
They paid for it.
And guess what happened? Netflix went faster.
Wait.
Their streaming became more seamless. Their buffer times died out. Everything went fine. Why? Because an ISP went to the person or the company that was taking up the most bandwidth and said, look, we need to cut a better deal. We are dying here.
Yeah.
If you don't provide us with better pay, if you can't pay us more, we can't provide your service anymore.
And then everybody dies. In
And
a
everybody
economic sense is
And guess what? You didn't pay any more for Netflix when that happened.
Nope.
You know what's going to happen? So Netflix came out with an email. They're going to start charging $10.99 instead of $9.99.
Yeah. Oh, I got you beat on that one. Somebody, and I don't know if it was them. I don't know if it was my children messing with stuff. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But I got an email that my plan had changed to $13.99.
Ooh. Oh, yeah, there was a new thing, yeah.
Yeah, I had to go back and fix that.
They have different packages now.
Yeah.
My package is going to go up to $10.99.
Yeah, mine is too.
Okay, so my package is going to $10.99. Do you want to know why? Because they're providing more content.
Yep.
They're adding more to the process.
They're updating their servers.
Right.
They're adding more stuff because that's one of the biggest problems that I at least have with Netflix.
Yeah.
Is hey, we're going to put a bunch of crap on here, stuff that you really, really like, and then we're going to take it away.
Yeah.
And that drives me nuts. Hulu has everything and has all of it.
Right. But they also have commercials.
Don't get me started on that one because that one makes me so mad.
But that's how they keep their price low, supposedly.
But
and also how they integrate with the television companies.
No, and I got that. But how is it then that Netflix can do the exact same thing
and not have to worry about it?
There you go.
I know, because they get it later. It's a whole contract thing. Anyway, so what happened? Netflix got better. Comcast got better.
Yep.
People got the same or better service out of their internet, and nobody had a problem with it.
Wait a minute. So what you're saying is the free market worked?
Yes.
Holy smokes.
And then net neutrality happened, and they weren't allowed to make those deals anymore for 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
So what would have happened if net neutrality stayed? Well, two major things would have happened. One, ISPs would no longer be able to charge anybody any more than anybody else, which means they would go to Netflix and say, we have to charge you more. Netflix would say, net neutrality, screw you.
Yep.
And then they would have to go to everybody else and say, guess what? We're raising our rates here so that everybody can pay for all of the additional substrate that we need for Netflix, because Netflix takes 70% of our bandwidth. Yeah. So you, grandma, reading your email, guess what? You're paying more for reading your email than you did before because we have to pay for Netflix and upkeep.
That you're not even watching.
And two, slowly, everybody would go away from that company, or the company would die out because it would try to keep its prices low, and then it wouldn't have enough money to actually pay for the upgrades and development for its services. So it would kill development, and it would stop any new ISP from starting. So all startups would die.
That's the thing I've started noticing, and maybe it wasn't until the housing bubble that I noticed it. I could be wrong.
Maybe. That's very odd.
But we are in this era where things don't fail anymore. You know what I mean? That is kind of the key.
Nothing can fail.
Nothing can fail. That's the key point of the market.
It has to fail.
There's points where it has to fail. Just like everybody wigs out when there's a forest fire. For all intents and purposes, yes, it sucks. Yes, it's destructive. Yes, it could tear things down. Right. But in a lot of cases, it is needed in order for new growth to
completely necessary
to come about.
In those forest fires, what they do is they get rid of the old, dead trees and allow for sunlight to get through the canopy so that the smaller trees can get light and grow.
Exactly. And
that creates new life.
They don't do that now. Everybody's so worried, well, we need to have Netflix. It can't live life without Netflix. Well, you realize that if the free market was allowed to do what it wants to do, if Netflix, let's say Netflix decides to go, we're sorry, but even the base cheap thing now is going to be $20 a month.
Okay.
Then I guarantee you there's going to be some jackwagon go, $20 for Netflix.
I bet I could provide that for $10.
There you go. And do it completely different.
But still provide
What is that called? That's called innovation.
And that's free market.
And that's free market. That's when things grow. That's where the cell phone came from, folks.
Guys, anybody out there? Hello.
Hi.
Please.
What?
Understand. If you don't like large government, you don't want net neutrality.
Yes. It sounds good because it's fair.
Look, that's why they name things like net neutrality and the Patriot Act. And it's like, the Patriot Act. Yeah, that's great. No,
it's not.
No, they surveilled on everybody.
Like I put it like this. Like I said, when it comes to the government trying to come in and regulate a private company,
it's a bad idea.
From anything other than breaking the law, which, not for nothing, we already have laws for that, so then that just forms redundancy. But I digress. If a government comes in and tries to regulate a type of some kind of, help me out, what's the
business?
Word? Well, I was gonna say, but a bigger
corporations,
a group of.
Market.
Market. Thank you. That's the word I was looking for. When it comes to trying to come in and regulate a certain market, regardless of what it is. And right now, it's the internet, and everybody brings up Netflix, which I'm sorry, but if you're going to lose your mind over the possibility of your Netflix costing a little bit more, hello, first world problems.
Yeah, I know, right?
Really? That's the whole the hill you want to die on.
The hill everybody wants to die on is exactly that. It's a first world problem. Let me ask you a question. We have how many people from our church go on missions every year, and all they do is just dig wells?
Oh, I know.
All they do is dig wells.
Haiti
everywhere
is the big one. I know
everywhere.
It's a big one,
South
but yeah,
China, Haiti,
Peru, India.
Yeah, exactly. And they go through all these areas, and all they're doing is digging wells and building small houses for these people to set up worship. And it changes their life. Just the idea of fresh water changes their life.
Yep.
You want to talk about having a problem with your Netflix costing $2 more?
Or having to, I don't know, take a moment to buffer.
Yeah. Okay, well, first off, I hate buffering.
Well, that goes without saying, but
I hate buffering.
I agree. But you get my point, is we're worried about... Look, if your life is so good that the worst thing that you have to deal with is buffering and an extra $2 on your Netflix, I wish I had your life.
Right.
I really do.
This is not an end of life thing. This is something so simple, so easy to understand, especially if you're a small government person.
Especially if you're someone like me and I don't get it.
Right.
I really like the ins and outs. Like I swear to you, I spent hours trying to read this stuff and my eyes glaze over. And it's very painful. My head hurts.
They really did.
But I did. But if I can at least recognize that anything that the government comes in, that's my rule of thumb. If the government comes in and tries to control a market, regardless of what it's trying to do, there are already laws, basic laws, that every corporation has to follow. If the government comes in and says something special in that market, red light, something's wrong.
Yeah.
Ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling, where's the bell? It's got to, run. And nobody does that.
Run away.
They shroud it intentionally under fairness and under, patriotism and all these little things to make you feel good about yourself. So that way when you walk away, you're going, well, it's fair.
Well, it's fair and
it's good.
Even,
it's good for everybody. And it's not.
Everybody's there.
Anything the government is going to touch is going to get ruined. Sorry.
Exactly.
Sorry. It's the truth.
Hashtag now I know.
Hashtag now I know. Give me your tweets. You're listening to Defenders of American Exceptionalism on the Lanterns Radio Network. We'll be right back.
You're listening to the Lanterns Radio Network. We are the network dedicated to empowering the individual, illuminating the truth, defending American exceptionalism, and inspiring future generations. Stay connected and get involved at Lanterns.buzz for great radio. Get commentary and news of the day. Lanterns.buzz.
And welcome back, everybody. You're listening to Defenders of American Exceptionalism on the Lanterns Radio Network. Yes, sir.
Yeah, 3 Bob.
Catch us on Twitter at DOAE Show, Defenders of American Exceptionalism on Facebook, where we do Facebook Lives and videos. You can see our ugly mugs.
You can see Dylan picking his mustache.
I'm not picking my mustache. I'm scratching my lip.
Sure.
Don't judge. You're just jealous that I can have a beard there, babyface.
Actually, I am jealous. About the beard. I can't grow one.
It's okay.
It's so terrible.
It's okay.
Even your mom was like...
Yeah, she was.
Your mom was like, who's that kid?
Who's that kid? Who's a stranger? Do you just let kids walk into your house?
What's going on? Is that your son's friend or something?
Yeah, she did. It was. My mom was in town last week, and it was actually kind of funny.
It was pretty good.
Good times. But yes, Defenders of American Exceptionalism on Facebook, Lanterns.buzz. Check out all the great content, great writers and other broadcasters and shows.
Yep.
Don't forget that Wednesday, January 6th, isn't that what I said?
10th.
10th, I'm sorry. January 10th at 9 p.m., we will officially start our second show of the week, which will be...
Well, our first show
It'll be the first show of the week, but it'll be the first time we do Wednesdays. I'll get it out. It'll come out right at some point.
It'll go there.
It'll be when we start doing 2 shows a week now.
Yep.
Because we need to put... There's just so much going on. We have to...
Yep.
We have to get it out there.
Now, as a sidebar, I wanted to just poke these out there a little bit. So apparently Miss Iraq is fleeing her own country.
That's not good.
Yeah. She took a picture, a selfie with Miss Israel. And apparently she and her family have now been having death threats because she took a picture with Miss Israel.
Oh, my God.
So there's that.
Well, there is that. Well, if we're going to play stupid.
And there's also police in Michigan.
Oh, wait, no. Let's do that later. I have one better. If we're gonna play the Israel card.
All right.
I'm going to touch on something real fast. Just a slight bit of irony.
Oh, yeah, I gotcha.
Kind of rolls in with this. So apparently, the city of Nazareth, you know where Jesus was born, is canceling Christmas.
There's no Christmas in Nazareth.
Yeah. So the birthplace of Jesus is not celebrating the birthday of Jesus.
Wasn't that something that Jesus said? A prophet can be accepted anywhere but the town in which he was born.
Pretty much. I think it was almost verbatim. And the funny part about it is they are canceling it because Trump has decided to say that Jerusalem
is the capital
of Israel.
Oh, that's good.
Now
that's
again,
amazing.
Let's just for basics look at what we just said. So basically, a foreign dignitary.
Yes, the president of the United States, which has no bearing on Nazareth
whatsoever, not even a teeny little bit, has decided to say that Jerusalem is the capital of Israel.
No, stop. Has decided, to state publicly, what our country already passed into law in 1995. That has also been a dedicated historical fact for 4,000 years.
Yeah. Okay.
So a 4,000-year fact that our country unanimously decided was a good thing to say in 1995. Our president finally said it. And the city of Nazareth did what?
Yeah. They decided they're not going to have Christmas.
Over that.
Yeah, so that's basically like, let's just for giggle's sake, that's like, Benjamin Netanyahu saying that the capital of America is
Washington, D.C.?
Well, no, I was going to say like Omaha.
Well, no,
Nebraska.
It's him saying that the capital of the United States is Washington, D.C., and then France saying, well, that's just absurd.
It's just that
we're taking the Statue of Liberty back.
Yeah, by all means.
Whatever.
Come tear it down, dudes. It's yours. But yeah, no, that's literally the case. It's literally just making a statement, and they've decided to cancel Christmas. And just real fast. So here is a quote from the mayor of Nazareth.
Okay.
Quote: "Our identity and faith cannot be bargained." End quote. Salam, a Muslim, said, according to 10 News. Quote, "Trump's decision has taken away the joy of the holiday, and we will cancel the festivities this year." End quote.
Sorry, wait. Hold on.
Yeah. Is there something going on that you...
I
sound like you find some bit of irony there.
Once again, the quote from a president of the United States took away the joy of the season?
From a Muslim, by the way.
From a Muslim?
They've taken the joy of a Christian holiday from a Muslim.
So the birth of Christ, apparently Trump has all bearing to a Muslim over the birth of Christ.
It is amazing, like if you really stop and think about the power that people apparently have given this man,
I know.
And then they turn around and complain about it.
Right.
You
gave him that power
mind
to
blowing.
say that.
Like seriously, completely mind blowing. I just thought that the amount of irony that's just in that whole thing with that. Congratulations, Nazareth. You're just
doing
stupid.
it wrong.
Yeah, you failed.
You failed.
So.
Speaking of failing.
Yay, failure. Sorry.
Wow, dude.
My bad.
Speaking of failing, there's a couple things. One, you have one more story that we need to get to, but I just want to touch on this real quick. Police in Michigan apparently no longer can have sex with prostitutes while on duty.
Wait a minute.
What's
the point? Wait a minute. So what's the point of joining the force then?
Apparently to do your job?
Apparently doing their job involved getting to have sex with hookers.
Look, when they say protect and serve...
that doesn't mean wear a condom and make her happy.
That's right. Thank you.
Wow.
They didn't mean that sort of service.
That's a hell of a perk.
That was
seriously, like when I've known police officers turn around and go, we get free coffee, we get donuts, we
get to have sex with prostitutes anytime we want on duty.
Apparently in Michigan, they get to have sex with prostitutes, which,
In Michigan, is that where Detroit is?
Oddly enough.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't that a coinky-dink?
That's incredible. Detroit, Michigan. Mm-hmm. They have really high crime rates there.
We now know why, because all the cops are busy doing the do when they should be preventing crime.
Oh, man.
Yay.
Well, you know what? The one last story that you have might help with this.
I have. I thought you were pitching it to me.
No, you have this story because you gave it to me, so you're telling this story.
Do I have to?
Yes, you are doing this story. I've talked enough today. Everybody's going to be like...
It's so much better, though, if you ask me the questions.
No. Well, you didn't actually send me the link, so I don't have it.
Oh, is that real? What?
Yeah, that's professionalism right there.
Wow. So you're saying I
You just showed it to me on your phone and never sent it to me.
No, I didn't.
No, you didn't.
I did. I sent it to you.
No, you didn't.
I'm about to prove it to you.
We're about to argue over this.
We're right on here on live. I'm going to show you.
We're arguing over live.
Do. There's
the last thing.
Hold on.
Last thing.
Hold on.
Last
Hold on.
thing.
Right there. Look at it. Right there.
Where is that? That's not on mine.
That bull.
Not on mine.
Scroll.
Not on mine.
Scroll.
Where is it? It's way up here. It's like way up here.
Right there.
Holy crap! That's like that's not show prep stuff. That's way up there.
Well, because I didn't get a chance to send it to you.
See, you didn't send it to me.
Okay, so we're gonna do it like this. So we're going to, and I really wanted to be on the other side of this, but this
technical difficulties.
No, this is not technical difficulties. This is just I proved my point and you were wrong. So, we got.
Do you really want to be on the other side of this?
I thought my reaction would be better, but it's fine.
All right.
It doesn't matter.
We'll do that. We'll do that. All right.
We're changing the show on the fly.
We're doing this on the fly. So these are 10 questions that a feminist should ask on a first date.
Yes.
Since personal.
So we're going to pretend.
Political.
We're going to pretend like we're dating. Like we're having our first date, or are we gonna?
This is the first date.
Or are we? Yeah, but I'm saying, are we pretending that we're on our first date, or is this a?
This is a preliminary before the first date.
How long am I going to stick around?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's how we're doing.
That's
it.
what we're doing.
No, that's fine. I'm ready.
All right. So here's the first question. Mm-hmm. Do you believe that Black Lives Matter?
I'm leaving. Right there. I'm getting up and walking away. Right there. Right there.
All right. Let's say you got past that.
Look, Black Lives Matter. Every life.
That's the wrong answer. All right. So
so she gets up and leaves now. She leaves now. Okay.
So number 2.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts on gender and sexual orientation?
I'm pulling out of the parking lot. I'm driving away. Right in the taillights.
This is not a question.
I got breadsticks in the passenger seat.
And see, the reason why she asked this question is she doesn't want to be with anybody who is queerphobic.
Which is a new word.
It's actually 2 words.
Yeah, well, but it's a new
phrase.
Thing. See, again, now let's just, for a moment, let's think about this.
Mm-hmm.
Let's pretend that you actually stick through this whole conversation and go through these questions. Because these 10 questions are what the feminist has come up and said that every woman needs to make sure of her mate on the first date.
If she's a feminist, this is what she needs to make sure of.
Because otherwise...
You're not protecting the rights of the little people.
Because that's your job.
Yeah.
But so let's look at that. What are your thoughts on gender and sexual orientation? So let's play a game. Okay?
I don't think we have time.
Well, we do. Just give me a minute. Just for because this one just bugs me to no end. So let's play this game. You are a self-identifying heterosexual male.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes.
Who is therefore trying to pursue a relationship with a self-identifying heterosexual female.
Yes.
Okay? If that's the case,
what is the problem?
What does who cares what your thoughts are, or gender or sexual orientation? Because theoretically, you're after that thing. Is this so in case your partner decides to change?
Here's the whole deal. She says political is personal. So if you can't be politically on point with each other, then you cannot be stable, even though opposites attract. So how do you work to dismantle sexism and misogyny in your life?
I've just driven into a ditch. 100 miles an hour, as fast as I can. Straight into a ditch.
No seatbelt.
Nope.
What are your thoughts on sex work?
Who? Who's doing the sex work? Sorry. That's a rather open-ended question, really. There's a lot of ways we could go with that in a short amount of time.
Are you pro-sex worker or anti-sex worker?
For me or for the person I'm trying to be with?
Anybody.
Because that, again, I don't know how keen it would be on someone else, but I might be open to the idea myself.
Not me.
Money's right. Oh.
$20 is $20.
Here you go.
Are you a supporter of BDS movement?
I thought you said BDM.
I
was like, bondage.
BDS movement is boycott, divestment, and sanctions movement against Israel.
Oh, I just set the car on fire.
Against Israel in the conflict.
I've wrecked it into a ditch and I've just set it on fire.
Basically, are you pro-Palestinian? Which, by the way, the people that run Palestine have said openly that Palestine is not an actual place.
We don't have time to go into that.
Anyway, so what is your understanding of settlers, colonialism, and indigenous rights?
Okay, I've just jumped out in front of traffic. Now, bear in mind, the car's in a ditch, setting on some fires ablaze, and I just stepped in front of a Mack truck.
Yeah, exactly. Do you think capitalism is exploitative?
Oh, God, yes. In the current crony version, yes.
Can any human be illegal?
Oh, my God.
Do you support Muslim Americans and non-Muslim people from Islamic countries?
Support them doing what?
I don't know. It doesn't say.
Now, bear in mind, I've gotten up and walked away a long time ago. This date is long over
with,
so this heifer is still sitting at the table just caulking the thin air.
La, 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 la. Number 10. Coming in at number 10. Does your allyship include disabled folks?
No, this.
Well, if you listen to the first story of the show, yes.
Unless you're from the Netherlands.
And on that, folks.
I mean, it's true. Unless you're from the Netherlands, who asked these questions? Like, seriously, if you had a date and this lady comes to you and says this, guys, we all know you would have gotten up and walked away by like at least the second question. Third tops, you might go, well, maybe there's a chance.
No,
I'll be out like a fat kid in dodgeball. Quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Is he really good at dodgeball, or is
he? I'm just wanting to be done.
I'm just done with this.
Just packing it in, folks. Thank you so much for hanging out with us.
Packing on the pals.
I am, boy. That's a whole other thing we'll talk about later. Catch us at Defenders of American Exceptionalism on Facebook, DOAE Show on Twitter, DOAE Show on Patreon.
Yep, patreon.com/DOAE Show.
Lanterns.buzz.
Hashtag Now I Know.
Hashtag Now I Know. Let us know what you know. Folks, we really appreciate everything that you do for us, being there for us. We love y'all to death. Oh, we got one more show. Christmas.
It'll be 2 good long hours.
Yes. Starts at 9 o'clock next Saturday.
Yes.
Be there. We love you guys. See y'all next time. Bye-bye.